not surface level energy. What is sitting here is deep and consuming because the person this is about is not casually thinking about you. They are consumed by you. There is a difference between missing someone and what this person is experiencing right now. What they are living in is something close to obsession in the most private emotional sense. They wake up thinking about you. They move through the day with you on their mind. There is no off switch, and they have looked for one. Believe me on that. The strength card is first, and it is showing someone gripping their own feelings with both hands. They are holding back with everything they have, and it is costing them more than anyone knows. Because what they are holding back is not just affection, it is something far heavier. What they are sitting on is a love they have never said out loud, fully formed inside. It is not a crush, it is not something passing, it has roots, deep and settled roots. The cards are not softening anything today. This person is in love with you. Not falling, not almost there, not somewhere in between. They are there fully, and they have been. What makes this so heavy for them is that they cannot seem to do anything with it. The desire to reach out has become something they live with daily, like a physical ache. They compose messages, they rehearse conversations, they run through every version of how it goes. Then they close the phone, walk away, and another day passes without a single word sent. That is the loop they are stuck in, and the cards are capturing it with complete clarity. Because the energy around them right now is not still, not peaceful. It is restless and urgent. There is something building in them, starting to feel impossible to keep contained much longer. The chariot reversed is showing up here, and it is the perfect image for where they are. It is someone with all the drive and desire, but something keeps jamming the wheels. They know exactly where they want to go, and yet something keeps stopping them from moving. That something is fear wearing the mask of logic, telling them to wait just a little longer. The feelings underneath are not waiting, though. The feelings are getting louder every day. The tower is brushing through this reading as well, not as destruction, but as pressure. The pressure of something that cannot stay contained, of feelings building past the point of control. What this person is experiencing is the slow crumbling of the wall they built around all of this. Every day they stay silent, that wall takes on more weight, and the cracks are getting wider. Something is about to give, not in a breaking way, but in a finally saying it way. The cards are showing someone approaching the end of their ability to stay quiet about this. Because silence, when you are this consumed by feeling, becomes its own kind of unbearable. They thought distance would give them perspective. They thought space would quiet it all down. Neither happened, and now they are standing fully inside of what they feel, with nowhere to hide. Fully in love, fully aware of it, fully unable to stop thinking about finally making a move. That is where this reading opens with someone who is not on the edge of feeling something. They are already past that edge, already deep in it, already working out how to tell you. Because they have something real to say to you, something they have been sitting on too long, the cards are here today to lay out exactly what that something is for you. So hold on, because this is going to get very clear very quickly. There is also something worth naming about the quality of what they feel for you. This is not the kind that fades when they are busy or gets replaced over time. It is the kind that follows them, that shows up uninvited, that refuses to be reasoned away. They have tried reasoning with it, told themselves it does not make sense to feel this. None of that worked. And a part of them has stopped trying to talk themselves out of it, because there comes a point where you accept what you feel and stop fighting it. This person has crossed that point. They have accepted what lives in them and carry it. The question the cards are sitting with now is not whether they feel it, that part is settled. The question is when they stop letting fear make decisions and start letting the truth lead instead. The truth in them has been loud for a long time, and the fear is losing ground. The Eight of Cups is showing up here, pointing to something they have been walking away from. Not walking away from you, but walking away from the version of themselves that keeps choosing silence. Let's continue and see what is on your side. The cards are now shifting to you, and what you have been carrying through all of this, your side of this story, is just as important as everything we just uncovered about them. There is something the cards want to acknowledge first, and it is the weight of not knowing. The not knowing is one of the heaviest things a person can sit with. Not knowing if what you felt was real, not knowing where you stand with them, that kind of uncertainty has a way of wearing a person down quietly from the inside. You may have looked fine on the outside, kept moving, kept showing up in your daily life. Something underneath, though, has been turning all of this over, trying to make sense of it. The Hermit is coming through for you here, showing a period of going inward, of processing alone. You have been sitting with your feelings privately, not sharing them with those around you. There is a quietness to your emotional state, a kind of inward retreat that has been necessary. You needed that space. You needed to sort through what you actually feel without outside noise. Because your feelings in this are layered, not simple, not something that fits a neat category. There is love here, there is hurt here, there is hope here. All sitting together at once, you could not choose one and release the others. They all live in you together. The Three of Swords made an appearance in your past energy, showing a wound this situation opened. Whether it was the distance, the silence, or the uncertainty, something in this story stung. It stung not because you were careless, but because you were open, because you let yourself feel. That openness, that willingness to feel something real, is one of your greatest strengths. The cards are not showing someone who regrets caring, they are showing someone still standing after it. You went through something uncomfortable, and you did not shut down. You kept your heart intact. That matters more than you may currently be giving yourself credit for. The Ace of Swords is also showing up in your energy, and it brings a very specific quality. It is a clarity card, truth cutting through fog, arriving directly in your field. Something inside you already knows more than you have allowed yourself to fully admit yet. There is an intuition you have carried about what this person feels, about what is actually real here. You may have dismissed it, told yourself you were only hoping, only projecting what you wanted. The cards are saying that knowing was not projection, that feeling was picking something true up. Your gut has been right about this connection, and what is coming will confirm it. The emotional state you are in right now is quiet readiness, mixed with careful guardedness. You want to believe, but you have been measured about how much you let yourself lean into that. You protected your peace. You did not chase. You did not beg. You stayed in your dignity. That choice, to stay in your own energy and not collapse toward them, is deeply significant. Because it kept you intact, it kept you whole, it meant that when movement comes, you are ready. Not desperate, not grasping, genuinely ready from a grounded and solid place within yourself. The Queen of Swords is strong in your energy, showing someone who has refined themselves through this. You are clearer about what you want, what you will not accept, and what you are worth. This season of uncertainty, as hard as it has been, has sharpened something real in you. There is a version of you just ahead that is more certain, more anchored, more whole. The cards are showing that version as something you are already stepping into. Your emotional side in this reading is one of the strongest energies coming through today. Simone, who went through real uncertainty, real silence, and came through with their heart still open. That is not easy, and the cards are giving that the full weight it deserves. There is also a tenderness in your energy that the cards are picking up very specifically, a softness that has not hardened even through all of the uncertainty and the silence. You did not become bitter. You did not close off entirely. You stayed tender at your core. And that tenderness, that ability to stay soft while also staying strong, is rare. The Empress is sitting in the background of your energy, adding her warmth to everything here. She is showing someone who is deeply feeling, deeply capable of love, and deeply worth being chosen. The cards see all of that in you today, and they want you to see it too. Because what is coming toward you is coming toward the real version of you, the full version. Not a performance, not a guarded version, but you as you actually are, feeling and whole. And that is exactly what this person has been missing, exactly what they have been obsessing over. Now let's go deeper and see what is underneath this. We are going into their motives. Now the real reasons behind what they have been doing. Because understanding why they obsess without acting is the key to this whole reading. There is a very specific landscape sitting inside this person right now, and it is layered. The cards are giving us full access to it today, so pay close attention. The first thing showing up about their motives is an overwhelming sense of emotional stakes. This person does not feel like reaching out is casual. They feel like it is everything. In their mind, this reach out is a declaration. It is them fully showing their hand. Showing that hand when you care this much is one of the most vulnerable things imaginable. The risk is not just rejection, it is being fully seen and still not chosen. That fear is what sits on their chest every time they get close to reaching out. They are not afraid of you. They are afraid of what wanting you this much reveals about them. The Devil card is showing up here, not darkly, but as a person chained to their own patterns. They are bound to a way of operating that once protected them but is working against them now. The pattern of going quiet when feelings get too big, of retreating when warmth feels dangerous. That pattern, built from an older wound, has been running things, and they are waking up to it. Because they can feel the cost, they can feel what staying in this pattern costs them. The other motive sitting here is something closer to reverence than anything else. They have placed you on a level in their mind, one that makes approaching you feel enormous. Everything you represent to them, everything they feel when they think of you, has been built up. That build-up, as beautiful as it is, has made the act of reaching out feel almost impossible. Like stepping into something sacred and being terrified of saying the wrong thing. That is the specific flavor of their hesitation, reverence mixed with terror, not indifference. The High Priestess reversed is here, showing a motive rooted in blocked inner knowing. They know what they want, they know what they feel, but something keeps cutting the wire. That wire is where their old story overrides their current truth, past interrupting present. They keep reaching the moment of truth, and their nervous system pulls them back before they cross it. It is not weakness. It is a deeply conditioned response, one that kept them safe once before. The cards are showing this response, breaking down under the weight of what they feel for you. Because the feeling is bigger now, bigger than the old conditioning, bigger than the fear. The Five of Cups is here, showing a motive tied to regret, to all the almosts piling up. Every time they almost reached out and did not, a part of them filed it as a loss. They carry a growing pile of almost moments, and the weight of them is becoming significant. Because regret, when it builds, starts feeling heavier than the risk they have been avoiding. They are motivated, in part, by not wanting to add another almost to that pile. There is also a motive around worthiness showing up, one that is important to name clearly. They have been asking themselves quietly and repeatedly if they are someone you would want back, not casually, but fully, the way they want to come back, with everything they have been holding. That question has been the loudest one inside them, and what they keep arriving at is hopeful. Because something in them senses the door is still open, that the energy between you is alive. That sense, fragile as it is, has been the thing keeping the possibility alive inside them. The motives behind all of this are rooted in love, in longing, and in something close to desperation. Not the destructive kind, but the kind that comes from caring so deeply you cannot move past it. There is one more layer of motive. The cards are bringing forward quiet but powerful. They want to be the one who comes back, not the one who gets left wondering forever. There is pride in them, yes, but underneath it is someone tired of waiting on themselves. They have watched time pass, they have watched themselves almost move, and they are done watching. The motive has shifted from protecting themselves to not losing something irreplaceable through inaction. In their heart, they have always known what you are to them. They just needed to catch up. The King of Cups is showing up quietly in their background energy, representing the emotional maturity forming. A version of them that leads with feeling, that stops letting logic override what their heart already knows. That king energy is what is taking over from the fear, and it is heading your way. And that love is about to finally stop staying silent. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. This is the part where the cards stop talking about feelings and start talking about action. Because something is genuinely about to happen and the energy around it is very specific. What we have been building toward across everything revealed is arriving right here. The decision forming inside this person is no longer just a thought, it is becoming a move. The first card for this section is the Knight of Swords, and it is moving fast. This card does not sit still, it does not contemplate endlessly, it cuts through and acts. The fact that it is showing up now is telling us something important about the timing. The internal debate that has been running on a loop inside them is coming to a close. A conclusion has been reached quietly, privately, and it is pointing in one direction. That direction is toward you, toward contact, toward finally saying what has been unsaid. The Knight of Swords does not appear in a reading like this and go nowhere. Movement is coming. The second card is the Three of Wands, and it adds real depth to what the Knight started. It is a card of someone at the horizon, watching what they set in motion begin to arrive. This person has already made a decision internally, already sent something out energetically. The Three of Wands is showing the moment just before the physical action catches up to the intention. It is imminent. That is the word the cards are using here. What is coming is imminent. Now, what does that actually look like? What form does this contact take? The cards are specific. It will come as something low-key on the surface. A casual reach out. They are not opening with everything at once. That is not how they operate when they are nervous. They will test the waters first, send something small, and read how you receive it. Underneath that small thing is an enormous amount of weight. Every word will be deliberate. Every word choice, every timing, every detail thought out far more than it appears. Because they have been composing this in their head for a long time, it will not be impulsive. What arrives will feel casual, and be anything but casual. Both of those things are true at once. The Magician card is here, and it is one of the most powerful action cards in the deck. It is showing someone who finally has everything they need to make a move and knows it. The will, the intention, the emotional clarity, all of it is aligned and ready right now. The Magician does not wait. The Magician creates the moment, and that is what is happening. This person is manufacturing the courage, creating the opening, stepping into it deliberately. The cards are not showing hesitation in this section. They are showing activation. Something that was potential energy is converting into forward motion. It is already moving. There is also a specific window showing up here, and the cards are pointing to it clearly. Something recently shifted for this person, a conversation, something they saw, something they felt, a trigger, external or internal, that moved the needle from almost to now. They crossed a line recently, quietly, and that crossing is what is driving this forward. The Fool card is stepping in here, and in this context, it is a beautiful energy to see. It is the moment where you stop calculating and you simply go, you trust and you leap. That is what this person is preparing to do, to stop overthinking and just reach out. The Fool says the leap itself is what changes everything, not the outcome, the act of leaping. This person who has been calculating for so long is finally ready to stop and just leap. When it arrives, carry the knowledge of what it cost them to send it. Because for this person, making that move is the bravest thing they will have done in this situation. It is love overcoming fear. It is truth overcoming silence. And it is finally moving. There is also an energy around the aftermath of this contact. And the cards are showing it clearly. When they reach out, something is going to unlock between you. Something that has been waiting. A conversation that could not happen before because neither of you had gotten here yet. The cards are showing that this first contact opens a door neither of you will want to close. It will not be everything resolved in one moment. Real things do not work that way. What it will be is the beginning of something honest, something that finally has no walls. The timing feels like it is already in motion. The energy is not sitting still. There is an electricity to this section of the reading, a sense of something right on the edge of communication, the edge of truth, the edge of this person finally letting you in. You have been on the receiving end of their silence, and the cards are saying that is ending. Now let's go ahead and dive in. This is where we go into the things they have never said, the confessions living only inside them. What this person carries privately is more specific than anything they have let show on the outside. The first confession coming through is about how they feel when they imagine losing you permanently. Not just distance, not just silence, but the actual permanent version of not having you in their life. That thought visits them more than they would admit, and every time it does, it changes something. Every time they imagine that finality, it hits them in a place that makes the silence feel unbearable. It is the kind of thought that reaches in, grabs something vital, and does not let go. That is the thought that has been accelerating the urgency inside them more than anything else has. The second confession is about the specific things they miss, not general, but precise and personal. They miss the way you communicate, the way conversations felt between you two specifically. There was an ease, a particular rhythm, something that felt unlike any other exchange they have had. They have had conversations since they have been around other people, and nothing has had that quality. That specific ease is something they cannot manufacture elsewhere, and they have quietly tried. The Knight of Pentacles is here, showing the slow and steady way this has been building. This is not a new feeling that arrived suddenly, it has been accumulating. Brick by brick, over time, every day without contact adds another layer to what they are carrying, another reason to finally act. The third confession, and this one is significant, is how much they have pictured a future with you. Not in a vague way, but in detail, they have built out exactly what it could look like. They have pictured ordinary moments, not grand gestures, ordinary comfortable moments with you present. Waking up and there being no tension, talking about nothing in particular, just existing near you easily. That specific vision, the simple and ordinary version of a life that includes you, is what they want. Not a performance of connection, not something impressive, something real, something that just breathes. They cannot stop returning to that vision no matter how many times they try to redirect it. The star reversed is here, showing the toll that suppressing all of this has been taking on them. There is an exhaustion in them, the kind that comes from carrying love with nowhere to put it. They are tired of holding it, tired of managing it, tired of waking up with it unsaid. The confession underneath the exhaustion is that they do not want to do this any longer. They do not want to be the person with all of this inside, and nothing showing. The gap between what they feel and what they show has become the most uncomfortable place they inhabit. The Venus energy coming through here is strong. It is romantic. It is deeply specific about you. This is not a general longing for connection. This is a longing that has your name on it. They are not interested in the idea of someone. They are interested in the reality of you, specifically your way of seeing things, the particular energy you carry. That is what they return to. There is also a confession around jealousy sitting here, one they would never say out loud directly. The thought of you moving on, of you choosing someone else, of you being open with another, that thought is one of the most activating feelings they have. One that cuts right through the pride. Every time it surfaces, it reminds them of exactly how much they are playing with by staying silent. Because they are not just risking a missed connection, they are risking losing someone irreplaceable. The Lover's card is here again, and this time it is asking a question directly at them. It is asking, are you going to keep choosing fear over the person who matters most to you? And the answer forming in them is finally, clearly, and loudly, no. There is also a hidden confession around what they want from you emotionally, specifically. They do not want a version of you that is guarded. They want the real and unfiltered version. They have seen glimpses of that version, the part of you that is fully present and unguarded. That version is the one they cannot stop thinking about, the one they want back. There is also something around forgiveness, sitting here, something they have not said out loud. They want to be forgiven, not dramatically, but quietly, for the silence, for the distance, for the walls. They want to come back and not have to carry the weight of the silence forever. There is a vulnerability in that want, a humility, not usually at the front of their energy. It is there, though, it is real, and it is one of the softest confessions in this reading. Okay, now let's see what is here. We're in the final part of this reading, and the cards are closing with real intention. Everything we uncovered today was leading to this. So stay right here with me. The near future energy is the first thing I want to address because it is very active. The cards are not showing a distant outcome. They are showing something that is already building. The movement forming on their end is going to make itself known. And soon, not randomly, not out of nowhere, but in a way that will feel earned and long overdue, like a letter that was always going to arrive, it just needed the right moment to be sent. The Judgment card is here, and in this position, it is one of the most significant cards. It is a card of awakening, of something dormant rising with full force into the light. This person has had their awakening moment, where the cost of silence became undeniable to them. When judgment shows up in the near future, it means that awakening is converting into action. Something that cannot be taken back, something real, something that shifts the shape of things. The Sunday card is also present here, and it is warm, clear, and deeply optimistic. It is the energy of something coming into light, after a very long time in the dark. The feeling that has been underground, the connection held in silence, it is rising. What has existed between you privately, quietly, is preparing to finally become visible. The Sunday does not arrive without warmth following it, and warmth is what is heading your way. Now the advice the cards are offering is important. I want you to really sit with it. The first piece of advice is to resist playing it small when this person shows up. Do not pretend you do not care. Do not perform indifference just to feel protected. This person is coming with their real self, and the cards ask you to meet that with yours. The version of you that stays present, that does not play games, is the right version. That version is the one this connection was always built around. Stay close to that. The second piece of advice is around pacing, gentle but firm. Let things unfold at a natural rhythm. Do not rush past the feeling to reach the resolution. Because the feeling, the actual experience of reconnecting honestly, that is worth staying inside. Do not skip it to get somewhere faster. The journey back is part of what heals this. The third piece of advice is around trust, specifically trusting what you have felt all along. Your intuition about this person, about what they feel, about the realness of this was correct. The cards have confirmed that today, and they want you to carry that confirmation forward. Trust what you know, trust what you feel. Trust that what is real here is worth receiving. The final cards for the closing energy are deeply affirming. I want you to feel them. The Ace of Cups reversed is shifting upright here, showing a flow that is ready to begin. The emotional current that has been blocked is releasing. What was dammed is starting to move. What was held back on both sides is preparing to flow, and it will feel like relief. Like something tight inside you, finally being allowed to breathe and expand again. The World card is here as well, showing a cycle finding its natural and deserved completion. The cycle of uncertainty, of silence, of not knowing is completing. It is genuinely finishing. What comes after is something new, built on the foundation of everything you have been through. Not a beginning that erases the past, but one that is richer and more honest because of it. The cards are closing this reading with absolute clarity on one thing. This person is in love with you. They are obsessing over reaching out. And that is not changing. What is changing is their ability to keep sitting on it. That ability is running out fast. You are on the receiving end of something real, something consuming, something with nowhere else to go. Hold your worth, stay open, and let what has always been true between you two finally be said. There is also one final energy the cards want to leave you with about your state of mind. Going into what comes next, the cards want you rooted, not anxious, not chasing the timeline. The more settled you are in yourself, the more naturally what is coming finds you. If you feel the urge to reach out first, pause and come back to yourself instead. What is yours does not require chasing, and the cards are firm about that. The energy of someone at peace with themselves is one of the most magnetic things that exists. That is what you are being called to embody, not as a strategy, but as a genuine state. Trust the process, trust the timing, trust that the love on their end is doing its work. Because it has been, and it is finally finding the courage to come toward you. Everything we uncovered today was leading to this. So stay right here with me. The near future energy is the first thing I want to address because it is very active. The cards are not showing a distant outcome. They are showing something that is already building. The movement forming on their end is going to make itself known. And soon, not randomly, not out of nowhere, but in a way that will feel earned and long overdue, like a letter that was always going to arrive. It just needed the right moment to be sent. The Judgment card is here, and in this position, it is one of the most significant cards. It is a card of awakening, of something dormant rising with full force into the light. This person has had their awakening moment where the cost of silence became undeniable to them. When Judgment shows up in the near future, it means that awakening is converting into action. Something that cannot be taken back, something real, something that shifts the shape of things. The Sunday card is also present here, and it is warm, clear, and deeply optimistic. It is the energy of something coming into light after a very long time in the dark. The feeling that has been underground, the connection held in silence, it is rising. What has existed between you privately, quietly, is preparing to finally become visible. The Sunday does not arrive without warmth following it, and warmth is what is heading your way. Now the advice the cards are offering is important. I want you to really sit with it. The first piece of advice is to resist playing it small when this person shows up. Do not pretend you do not care. Do not perform indifference just to feel protected. This person is coming with their real self, and the cards ask you to meet that with yours. The version of you that stays present, that does not play games, is the right version. That version is the one this connection was always built around. Stay close to that. The second piece of advice is around pacing, gentle but firm. Let things unfold at a natural rhythm. Do not rush past the feeling to reach the resolution. Because the feeling, the actual experience of reconnecting honestly, that is worth staying inside. Do not skip it to get somewhere faster. The journey back is part of what heals this. The third piece of advice is around trust, specifically trusting what you have felt all along. Your intuition about this person, about what they feel, about the realness of this was correct. The cards have confirmed that today, and they want you to carry that confirmation forward. Trust what you know, trust what you feel, trust that what is real here is worth receiving. The final cards for the closing energy are deeply affirming. I want you to feel them. The Ace of Cups reversed is shifting upright here, showing a flow that is ready to begin. The emotional current that has been blocked is releasing. What was dammed is starting to move. What was held back on both sides is preparing to flow, and it will feel like relief. Like something tight inside you, finally being allowed to breathe and expand again. The World card is here as well, showing a cycle finding its natural and deserved completion. The cycle of uncertainty, of silence, of not knowing is completing. It is genuinely finishing. What comes after is something new, built on the foundation of everything you have been through. Not a beginning that erases the past, but one that is richer and more honest because of it. The cards are closing this reading with absolute clarity on one thing. This person is in love with you. They are obsessing over reaching out. And that is not changing. What is changing is their ability to keep sitting on it. That ability is running out fast. You are on the receiving end of something real, something consuming, something with nowhere else to go. Hold your worth, stay open, and let what has always been true between